How do I look?
Like you're trying to impress me with the car?
It's kind of working though, right?
Oh, get a room.
Things are finally starting to feel normal again.
Come on, boys.
We have our friends now.
This is what we've been waiting for.
Say something to the camera.
Something to the camera.
Time's up, though. It's my turn to camera.
There's something else I forgot to tell you. I've been having strange dreams.
Of what?
It's about Dennis.
Dennis went into the woods and he didn't come back out. We gotta find him. Who's in?
I'm in.
Me too.
Yeah, let's do this.
You feel your...
When the eye was reforging in the machine, something was triggered.
This is your time.
If the power of the eye is not in the eye, where is it?
You've got to stay.
Trying to stop the power from falling into the wrong hands.
If we put the wrong pieces together, there's gonna be consequences.
You're putting everybody you care about at risk.
If we learned anything last year, it's that we can't trust anyone.
Now, you guys want to chase down mysteries. You do it right. You do it together.
Frank!
We gotta go! Come on!
We already have one missing kid. We don't need more.
You know how dangerous it is.
This doesn't make any sense.
How are we gonna solve this?
Okay, we'll be back before it's over.
Be careful.
Yeah.
I will too, if anyone cares.
See ya.
What?
So, season 1 premiered, obviously during the midst of COVID, everybody's at home watching it. You didn't really get a chance to experience promoting the film out to Comic-Con type fans and stuff like that. What was your general sense of the, both on a personal level as far as how the show, season 1 went creatively? And then what was your sense, I mean, you didn't really get to go out in public, but what was your sense from the feedback you were hearing maybe online from fans and how they felt about the first season?
I think what's cool about doing a show that's got this much history, and you know, TV shows have been done, the books have been coming out since like 1927, is when you do something, there's always the fear that it's, you know, everybody wants the old thing. And what was special about this was we had a lot of young kids and families coming up to us, you know, even when we were shooting season 2 in Toronto and just saying like, oh, this has been great to watch as a family, and having parents be like, we love this rendition of the Hardy Boys that you know, we've known for so long. So I think season 1 went well, and we had a lot of fun doing it. And then season 2 is just like that times 5. It's just a bigger show, and it's a lot. It's exciting.
Yeah. I think it was also cool because we were merging generations together. You had people that knew Hardy Boys from the books. Then you also have we had like this little tight space to introduce something new and bring something new to it, which we made it more modern for kids now, which is how it's gonna stick around, how the trend still stays around. I think the way we blended that together, they did that really beautifully, and we just were able to have the opportunity to bring it to life. So it sounded like everyone really enjoyed it, which was really, really good to see that all that hard work pay off.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up reading these books, so when I first heard they were doing it, I was like, oh, I wonder how that's gonna work. But I really love the show. So yeah, I think you guys have done it justice.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, from somebody who actually read them.
In person, someone's saying that. Instead of just on Instagram. You did so good.
We could have said that whole round. He would have been like, disagree.
Can you imagine? What were you most excited to see or to get to do now that your characters have sort of progressed from in season 1? They go through this really fascinating journey, and now you're at season 2, and you know worked with the characters for another season. What were you most excited to get to do with your characters this season?
I think for me in particular, for Callie's storyline, like things kind of just got cut off right at the end, so she wasn't really like, there's so much stuff that she hasn't sorted out in terms of where she's gonna go to school next, because she's been working so hard to get accepted, and then also to be taken away from her is like her main mentor, essentially, Gloria, somebody that she looked up to and had a really strong relationship to. So Callie's like been put in this spot where she's like,
okay, that stuff is crazy and has happened, but it's in the past, and you know, 6 months isn't a whole lot of a long time to process things. So for her here, it's like you can see her in these private moments. She's a bit more on edge and a bit more vulnerable. Like she's going to make mistakes this time around in ways that are, I think, new compared to how you've seen her in season 1. So yeah, I really like what they've done with her character this time. Yeah.
I got handed a big gift, which was like the script. Like 201, I read what was happening to Frank and this new supernatural thing that's going to happen, and having something in the script that's not fixable through detective work, as much as that's their only, weapon, so to speak. So I had a lot of fun this season just dealing with that.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. And it was interesting too for Callie, because at a certain point that becomes her problem, right? Like we're in this together, and so she's just going through the motions of figuring out how she feels not only about the past that has happened, but the problem that's present right now, and how to kind of approach this. You know, she's scared, she's nervous for him, but she has to be the strong one in terms of like, how are we gonna help you, essentially, right?
And even like this year, you see Chet choosing to take care of himself more this season, and that's something that, especially, I guess, something in a way, the breakup that between Callie and, you know what I'm saying, I'm still processing it, hence the pause. But no, the breakup that we had, it was still like, it was a very healthy looking breakup.
Yeah.
It wasn't messy, it wasn't a toxic TV kind of situation.
I love that.
And so even now we kind of kept up with that theme of like, okay, so this is, especially for guys to see, like, hey, take care of yourself now. And it's okay to do that, and it's okay to take care of yourself, and it's cool how Belinda kind of becomes part of that process. And so you see the new things that happen for Chet this season. It's really fun to explore.
You kind of touched on the supernatural element of the story. There's a little bit of that in season 1. What can you tease about what fans can expect from that element of the story?
I guess in season 2, the supernatural element becomes internalized in Frank, and it's something that he's dealing with on his own, and just the fear to not share it with anybody because he doesn't know what it is, and we don't exactly know what it is either as an audience. It's something special that happens with it. It's sort of like the lines of what's actually happening and what isn't starts to get played with a lot this season, and I think that'll be really special. And the way it ends is like I tried to track the story as the scripts were going. I had so many guesses, and I was like so sure. And then I was sure all the way up to episode 9. I'd read 9, and I was like, I know what's gonna happen. And then I read 10, and I like put the script down, and I was like, well, that's crazy. I have no idea, So I'm very excited for that journey. So it's just more of an internalized thing, and to have something that the boys can't deal with physically is really fun to watch, and moves the story really fast.
So Krista, I love your character already. Just from that little brief glimpse that we got, what was exciting for you to get to play, and then what are you hoping fans will get to see as your character sort of gets, I'm sure, is going to be brought into this group in a more serious way.
Yeah, I think Belinda in many ways for me was a dream character, especially with the show being set in the 80s. She's a punk rock girl, she's into anarchist magazines, and we don't really get to see very many people who look like Belinda be into those things in the 80s in mainstream television. So I think for me, that was such a blessing that I got to play that. And there's many parts of Belinda that are part of my minority groups that we're going to be able to see. And beyond that, just for her to be part of this amazing gang and to integrate into them so quickly, and to add an element that we maybe didn't see with the gang before in season 1.
Such a fun character.
Yeah, it was amazing to play.
Also, they're not gonna say it. These two together are electric. I think I watched episode 2, and there's a scene, another detention scene that these two have together, and it ended, and I was like, well, those are movie stars.
Hey, I receive it. That means a lot coming from him. I'll take it.
So, Krista, you're new to the cast. What was it like coming into a show that's been around for a season? They're all friends. Were you? Did you feel welcome?
Of course. I mean, it's always daunting being the new kid in town. And like I had said during your panel, I was a fan of the show. I had already watched the show, so I did all the research I possibly could prior. So I feel like I already knew them, to be honest.
Okay, then this is a good question. Who was the least like their character?
You know what's so funny? Everybody asks me this, and I feel like everybody's very similar to their characters, but the person who's the least, I feel like we can all say at the same time, is Christian.
Yeah. For sure. 100%.
Took me by surprise, and that's what makes him an even,
incredible.
That's what makes it even more incredible. It's like he's so different than Phil, and he really hones Phil. And then you meet Christian.
This is hilarious.
But no, they were so incredibly welcoming. I had met these two for the first time doing my camera test. That was my first day. I had met them in our makeup trailer.
In the makeup trailer, and it was cute. I took a photo, Krista's like first photo on set.
Yeah,
So
it was our first exchange of words. She was like, we had like introduced ourselves to each other. She's like, hold on, let me take a picture.
You look really cute. Stay there.
I'm like, what do I do? What do I do?
You still did a
And then
Find your light.
Keana, who's just the amazing person that she is, she got that printed for me on a tote bag, so I have that forever. The sweetest thing.
I have a question. So one of my favorite moments in the first season is you guys being stuck in a room and have to figure out how to get out. What are some of without spoiling anything, because I know you can't, and I'm excited to see the show, so don't spoil.
I'll tell you anything.
But sort of like the mental detective aspect for like other characters getting brought in when they get to interact with the Hardy Boys. How fun was some of that to film?
Yeah. There was definitely like times when we were put back into that puzzle kind of realm where there's different symbols that had sort of cryptic underlying meanings or codes that like you really have to like visually, like you have to look out for those things and then also see as an audience member how you're going to fit it into the story to make it make sense for you. It's like you got to find the clues along the way. It's like you're playing a game. It's really like that this time around. So
And something really special with that is a lot of this, like the time crunch moments of like, here's some clues, figure it out. It's the 10 of us or the however, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us in an attic together, which is chaos enough just because we're all close friends. But to watch the characters get together and like do it as a team, and it's
fire.
And
it's really fast-paced sort of like detective work, and it's what I love about this season is there's a lot of like, as much as there's the supernatural element, there's a lot of figuring things out just with their brains, especially Christian's character.
He comes through, he just like comes in rambling.
His math brain comes flying in.
Out of nowhere. You're like, where are you from?
He's got a really fun season.
He does best stuff, and it was fun because everybody got a chance to do it too. It wasn't like first season. It was okay. Everyone help out Hardy Boys. We want to help them out. Versus this year is going to be, if I don't help them out, it directly affects my life. And so I think it brings up the stakes for everybody else. So everyone else figuring stuff out. It's like, okay, no, I need to figure this out because I need to know the answer. Versus if I don't know the answer, like season 1, it'll suck if I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But no, it was definitely like super fun the way they incorporated everybody. So that no one got excluded from a detective mode, which was great.
Can you talk a little bit about, I know you guys shoot the film, show in Toronto, is that right? What's it like filming there? I know you do a lot of on location stuff. Talk a little bit about that and how that adds to the show, being on location all the time, and what was
Toronto. I was gonna say, I have lived in Toronto for many years, and there has not been one place that I've been to before that we filmed. So it was really interesting to explore somewhere that I thought I was very comfortable.
Your own backyard.
I know this place.
Find these really gorgeous like hills and forests and whatnot. Wow. People really do shoot movies out here.
And even beyond that, even the historical buildings that we have, we got to learn a lot about the history of Toronto and the buildings that we have, which is an amazing experience.
And people were always very welcoming when we go on locations because we were a very respectful cast as well, like just very mindful of like where we were at and that sort of thing. So it was really nice sometimes if we're shooting at certain people's homes, for example, like they were very excited to like meet us, and I think we're just
The old buildings are like incredible.
Yeah.
There's the sequence at the end of season 1 where we're in the caves and I'm trying to get Alex out. And we're walking and we're on the walkies, like the actual tunnels.
Yeah,
underground.
Like,
so we're shooting in the real tunnels, and then there was some tunnels also in there that we couldn't shoot in because they were like 4 foot wide little.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
And there's another situation like that when we shot at University of Toronto campus. So also a historic building, very, very small, and it's summertime. Students aren't in classes, but that means they don't have the air conditioning on. So we're in these small quarters.
It's always me and you in like a romantic scene, and we're both like wet.
Dripping, absolutely dripping. And it's like, this is supposed to be cute, but it's not cute.
It's not nothing but gross.
Yeah, but again, like for the camera operators and all the people with the machinery is just like fitting themselves in these spaces. They make it work somehow. They're like on the ceiling. You're like, how'd you get up there? Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of pressure.
I love that honesty.
If you had to just, I'm gonna do the one word. Describe the season in one word.
Enigmatic.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. And she had to think about it.
I would like to copy and paste that one.
Okay, enigmatic.
It's wild. It's crazy.
You've been saying wild.
It's wild.
Wild is a
Again, like you watch that and you're like, this is wild.
I'm gonna say communal. Because like they were saying, for the first time that we're seeing that everybody has high stakes in this, and you can tell, you can feel it as the season progresses.
I'd go charming. There's a lot of moments where we see everyone going like, oh, that's really nice. Like,
I'm feeling
I'm feeling something. Like I think
Got a lot of
there's a lot of
moments
it.
yeah.
I agree.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.